going, everybody? So we have a fun review today as we're talking Beetlejuice. What better way to kick off officially the spooky movie season than to talk about the long-anticipated sequel to the 1988 film, which is a film that I love. Personally, it might be one of my favorite Tim Burton films all around, but for as long as I can remember, I have heard rumors about them potentially making a sequel to this. It's one of those movies that you would see periodically with those horribly photoshopped posters on Facebook that everyone would believe was actually happening, but lo and behold, finally, after 36 years, we actually do get an official sequel. After an unexpected family tragedy, the 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter Astrid accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife. With legacy sequels still being all the rage in Hollywood lately, some hits, some misses, I would say for the most part Beetlejuice bridges that gap pretty well. The enthusiasm is clear from the jump, the commitment to bringing the spooky, weird style from that original film, and for the most part bringing back all the iconic characters from the original Beetlejuice, while using all of them to springboard a new story, breathing new life into this world in quite a ghoulishly entertaining adventure. For as much as I enjoy Tim Burton's work, a lot of his more recent projects I haven't been a big fan of, outside of probably Wednesday, which almost in some ways feels like a sort of test run for Beetlejuice, besides the fact that Jenna Ortega is in both. So here with this sequel, it does kind of feel like a return to form for him. It's evident through the adventure that we go on with the Dietz family and Beetlejuice, across a vast variety of realms, revisiting the afterlife, etc. He still is very capable of that signature, spooky, imaginative style and the macabre sensibilities which shine through exceptionally when the story goes back to the afterlife in this. All of those elements of the afterlife in particular were my favorite. The practical effects work, the set design, and the puppetry. Again, another stark reminder that practical work usually looks better than CGI. And in those sections within the story, it was difficult not to have fun. Regardless if the story at times starts to feel scatterbrained the longer it goes along. The major reason why Beetlejuice works so well is the cast. By and large, the cast here is fantastic, whether it be the legacy characters or a lot of the new additions to the cast. With performances like this, it does make me treasure Winona Ryder on screen, and the fact that we don't get to see her in a lot of stuff outside of Stranger Things these days. She slips effortlessly back into playing Lydia, strange in the best of ways, but much more reserved. Even though she's older, she's still haunted by Beetlejuice while hosting this show about the paranormal. Probably the best part of the story for me did come from Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega. Two of them have this really great mother-daughter dynamic. It's one of the most effective elements to the film, bringing a lot of heart to it. It was incredibly endearing how far Lydia is willing to go, pretty much going above and beyond for Astrid to the point that she'll reluctantly get someone like Beetlejuice involved. Between Wednesday and Astrid, I'm really enjoying this pairing between Jenna Ortega and Tim Burton. As per usual, she's pretty great. I genuinely had a good time following her character along, since she's this independent, angst-filled character that's skeptical of anything supernatural, thinks her mom is a fraud, which makes her storyline all the more fun over the course of the film, the wild excursion that she goes on. If you had told me just a few years ago that not only would Michael Keaton come back to play Batman in The Flash, but then he would go on the next year to play Beetlejuice in a sequel after 36 years, I probably would have called you insane, but yet here we are, and almost in kind of a similar vein to my sentiments back when he played Batman in The Flash. He was probably one of the best parts of that movie. I think he does a good job stepping back into the role as Beetlejuice. I think he's still got it. From the moment that he enters the film with an incredible introduction sequence, Beetlejuice is as crazy and obscene as ever, bringing the most enjoyable mayhem with him. Much like in that original film, which he's actually not even in all that much, you savor every moment that he appears on screen interacting with Lydia or others in the afterlife. Similar to in the original film, they make the best usage of his screen time, considering he's the kind of character that never plays by the rules and is hilarious while doing so. Also, surprisingly, they do try to expand upon his character a little bit, even getting some more backstory. When we delve into his history with his ex-wife in these black and white sequences. Like I said, albeit much like the original film, he's not in the movie a ton. I would argue he probably is in the movie at least marginally more in this compared to the original. And in a similar fashion, it does kind of leave you wanting a little bit more of the character. All in all, it is kind of a personal preference thing. I think it's a lot better to have him in small doses as opposed to him just being a major character throughout. Also, 2 other major highlights to the cast for me was Catherine O'Hara. To be completely honest, she pretty much stole every single scene that she was in. I thought she was phenomenal. And as for new characters, my favorite probably was Willem Dafoe, who plays this really weird cop in the afterlife. Considering the overwhelming majority of legacy sequels strictly act like a retread of the original film, mostly play off of nostalgia, I was glad at the big swings it takes trying new things with the world building and the story. However, I do wish as the film went on, everything didn't start to feel so scatterbrained. I still had a pretty good time, but the film struggles significantly at balancing all the different characters and plot lines. At certain points in the film, there's probably about 3 or 4 plots going on simultaneously, and the film does employ multiple villains, so it starts to feel crowded, alternating between them all. Doing so, some of these stories don't get a lot of development and feel kind of wasted by the end. One of them being Astrid's crush on a boy that she meets, or Beetlejuice's ex-wife. At first, I was genuinely excited about Beetlejuice's ex-wife being a focal point to the story. She has an amazing creepy design and literally staples her body parts back together. It seemed really fun to have her try and hunt down Beetlejuice. But by the end of the film, where we go with that storyline, it kind of felt like a big waste of time and a huge waste of Monica Bellucci as this character. Though there are quite a bit of good callbacks to the original film, the only one I was kind of mixed upon was the musical number. In this film, it's set to the MacArthur Park song. It still certainly is a fun sequence, don't get me wrong, but it's one of the elements in Beetlejuice Beetlejuice that does feel a bit shoehorned in, especially compared to the original scene in the first Beetlejuice film. That one was so well done and unexpected. Here, it just isn't as good. In the end, however, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is a welcome return. Tim Burton brings the zany, macabre, fun atmosphere, dials up the charm for modern audiences, and effectively delivers a solid legacy sequel that longtime fans should feel satisfied with. As far as the multitude of legacy sequels are concerned, I do think it is one of the better ones in recent memory and a nice companion piece to the original film. There for sure are a good amount of things to be tweaked here that could have made it an even better experience, but I can't deny the fact that I was left satisfied by the end. Once you get a chance to check out Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What did you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Share your thoughts down below, because the fun is in that conversation with you guys in the comment section. Thank you guys, as always, checking out the videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. For the next time, I'll see you guys later.